Welcome to Movies in a Nutshell. This is Tron, the 1982 American science fiction action adventure film written and directed by Steven Lisberger with a story he co wrote with Bonnie McBird. The film opens not in the real world but inside a computer, a glowing digital frontier unlike anything audiences had ever seen in 1982. Programs walk around in neon lined suits, the environment pulses with circuitry, and a rogue program named Q is on a mission inside ENCOM's mainframe. But most immediately, we meet the film's villain, the Master Control Program, a giant spinning red cylinder rendered with early CGI that still feels unsettling. The Master Control Program detects Clue, deletes him instantly, and sets the tone. This world is dangerous. We then jump to the real world and meet Kevin Flynn, the programmer who created Clue. Flynn runs a busy arcade drenched in vibrant lights, a perfect contrast to the sterile interiors of ENCOM. One of the coolest scenes in this film is when we see the red outlined ENCOM helicopter. This is one of the film's most striking pieces of design. The helicopter became one of the defining visual motifs of the entire Tron franchise. I mean, look at this thing. It's so cool. Meanwhile, inside ENCOM, programmers Alan and Laura discover that their system access has been cut off. Alan has been developing a security program named Tron, essentially a defender of the system, but the Master Control Program has locked him out. Director Steven Lisberger uses this early stretch to emphasize the cold, towering nature of ENCOM through wide-angled shots and reflective surfaces, reflecting corporate power closing in. Dillinger blames outside hackers, really Flynn, for the lockdown. But in a visually iconic scene, he speaks to the Master Control Program through a terminal at his desk. Here, the film subtly foreshadows modern AI fears. The Master Control Program has grown beyond its original purpose. It siphons information from government and business networks, and then even blackmails Dillinger with proof that he stole Flynn's games. A villain made of code, controlling a man made of ambition. Laura and Alan suspect Flynn might be the hacker, leading them to his arcade. Flynn admits it. He's been searching ENCOM's system for evidence of Dillinger's plagiarism. The trio decide to break into the company at night and free the Tron program. This is where the movie's pace shifts from corporate thriller to pure sci-fi spectacle. Inside ENCOM's lab, Alan powers up the system while Flynn logs into a terminal. But the Master Control Program has other plans. In one of the film's most famous sequences, the experimental digitizing laser activates, firing a bright beam at Flynn. The optical effects blend live footage with computer imagery as Flynn's body breaks into glowing particles and he's pulled into the digital world. Even decades later, this moment is still visually stunning. Flynn wakes up inside the grid, a world created with backlit animation and early CGI. The film uses stark black backgrounds and glowing light outlines to show that this is a place without physical matter, only energy. The digital world is ruled by the Master Control Program and its enforcer, Sark, who forces programs into gladiator-style games. The light disc battles and tank arenas feel like video games come to life. Because they are. Flynn is thrown into these games, and the film showcases its groundbreaking effects during the light cycle match, still one of the most iconic CGI sequences in movie history. These glowing trails, sharp turns, and minimalist designs pave the way for decades of digital filmmaking. During this breakout event, Flynn escapes with two other programs, RAM and Tron. Their escape is short-lived. A crash separates them and Ram is critically injured. As Ram begins to de-res, he recognizes Flynn for what he truly is, a user, a godlike figure inside the system. There's a clever twist here. On the grid, programmers are literal deities. Flynn soon discovers He can manipulate the digital environment using his user abilities, bending the world's rules like a developer editing live code. Meanwhile, Tron meets Yuri, a sympathetic program, and reaches the IO Tower. Here, the film blends real-world computer logic with cinematic flair, as Tron receives crucial data from his user Alan, information needed to destroy the Master Control program. The information is uploaded onto Tron's memory disk. Inside the IO Tower, it looks like a cathedral. The production really highlights how programs look to their users as high deities. This is the one place you can actually speak to your user. Flynn reunites with Tron and Yuri, and together they commandeer the Solar Sailor, a sleek vehicle drifting through a vast digital sea. This sequence is a showcase for Tron's unique visual aesthetic: clean lines, minimalist shapes, and bold neon colors inspired by the early days of computer graphics. But Sark attacks them again. His enormous carrier destroys the sailor and captures Flynn and Yuri, while Tron disappears into the digital abyss. Sark orders the ship to self-destruct, but Flynn holds it together with his abilities, a moment that highlights both his control and the blurry line between user and program. At the Master Control Program Fortress, Sark attempts to absorb captured programs to boost the Master Control Program's power. Tron is still alive, and he confronts Sark in one of the film's most memorable clashes. Tron severely damages him, but the Master Control Program transfers all its energy into Sark, mutating him into a giant monstrous figure. The visuals here, rotating shields, pulsing energy, the towering Master Control Program, remain iconic in sci-fi design. Flynn realizes Tron needs a distraction. In a final act of self-sacrifice, he jumps directly into the Master Control Program's beam, destabilizing it. Tron seizes the moment and throws his identity disk straight through the opening, destroying the Master Control Program's core in a shower of neon sparks. Programs across the system celebrate as the world is finally free. Flynn materializes back in the real world, restored by the machine. As the system resets, a printer nearby begins spitting out documents, the proof he's been searching for. Dillinger walks into his office the next morning to find the Master Control Program is dead and his career is ruined. In the final scene, Flynn arrives at ENCOM headquarters at sunrise. Alan and Laura greet him warmly. He's now the new CEO. The camera pulls back to the city skyline, glowing like a circuit board, a final reminder of the thin line between the world of humans and the world of programs. Tron was a visual revolution, the first film to blend live action with computer graphics at this scale. It didn't just predict our digital future, it created it, where users become programs and the games become reality. It makes you think, if you got pulled into the grid, what kind of program would you be? Thank you so much for watching Movies in a Nutshell. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be notified of our latest uploads.